One of my favorite quotes of all time: if you're not dedicated to your disciplines, you'll be destroyed by your distractions. Welcome to the Follow to Lead podcast, a proud member of the That Sounds Fun network. I'm your host, Tony Miltenberger. With over 20 years of experience in ministry, military, and leadership coaching, I'm here to help you encounter the peace of leading with Christ. This podcast is perfect for faith-driven entrepreneurs, executives, anybody who's ready to root their identity in Christ, whether you're leading at home or in the office, and they want to bring that faith-driven purpose into every aspect of their life. We all know it. Leadership isn't about perfection. It's about intentionality, just like that quote at the beginning. And here at Follow to Lead, we want to explore how to integrate faith into that workplace without compromising your mission. I love this reflection from Annie Downs in episode 368.
I got to practice prayer and I got to practice hearing God, because there's going to come a time where I'm sitting in a coffee shop and God has something for the person at the table next to me. And if I haven't practiced hearing God in my community, I'm not going to have the courage to get in the game and say, hey, can I interrupt you? I think the Lord wants to remind you that he is for you, or whatever. Right. So those are, I think hearing God is our secret weapon as business leaders, honestly, because he sees the future. And I don't care what anybody forecasts about an election, or what they forecast about the economy, or they forecast about what's going to happen with social media and how many, what's going to happen with gas prices. Important to pay attention to. John Tyson here in New York says, spirit-led, data-informed. And that's the order. And so we have this massive advantage as people of faith and business that we can be spirit-led to say these yeses and nos that do not make sense in the natural. And the Lord goes, you're going to love seeing this play out next spring.
Every week, we'll dive into great conversations just like that one with Annie. Transformative conversations with incredible guests who live out their faith in powerful ways. Whether it's running a business, navigating family life, or just serving their community. Like this incredible conversation I got to have with Bob Goff in episode 379.
But I think a predominant question in my life is, will it work? And that would be a fair question to be asking. But now in my 60s and through my 70s and 80s, I think I'm going to be asking, will it last? Because I don't want to do things that work that don't last. And so going through that sieve, and community always works.
Together, we'll uncover the habits, the disciplines, the mindset shifts, all the different tools that help leaders just like you thrive. Because following Jesus doesn't mean stepping back. It means boldly stepping forward. I loved the conversation I got to have with Curt Thompson on episode 353.
Is it this or is it, how do we know that it's this or it's that? I'll speak for myself. I think I have a tendency, it's easy for me to imagine the world in terms of binary questions that I ask, right? That either have an answer, it's A or it's B. Which is it? And I think the fact that I even ask my questions in that way is a way for me to protect against my fear that I'm going to be somehow not doing this the right way, which is really the wolf of shame at my door, waiting to do its work.
So if you're tired of being overwhelmed by the distractions in your life, if you're ready to start leading with a purpose and on purpose, I want you to subscribe to this podcast. Whatever podcast player you use, just hit the subscribe button, join the journey. Let's become leaders who follow Jesus and inspire others to do the same. And remember, guys, if you want to follow Jesus, you must be willing to move.